Hello, Miss Debbie. All right, I'm going to show you a video of over 10,000 drones at one time. America really dropped the ball. We didn't spend money in drones when we should have, and the technology and everything. But we're going to show you on this channel what drones can do, and it's phenomenal. So let's share this video. Hopefully you can hear it. Hello, Miss Debbie.
$197 drones taken to the sky. The record attempt took place at Shenzhen Bay Park by a multi-Guinness World Record title holder lmbo, a leading company in drone shows within China. Despite setting the record the week prior with 7,578 drones, lmbo decided to attempt the record again with even more drones. Every single drone in this attempt was controlled by one single computer. The aerial display and record attempt was made to celebrate the 75th National Day of People's Republic of China. The most drones airborne simultaneously from a single computer is 10,197, and was achieved by Shenzhen lmbo Intelligent Control Technology Co. Limited and Shenzhen Media Group.
To remind you that 60%
All right, so there you go. That's what 10,000 drones can do with one computer and a great programmer. I mean, that is unbelievable. This is over. Why am I seeing this stupid commercial? All right, let's stop sharing this. You know, here's the flying cars that they're talking about. World's first flying car. Yeah, I could just imagine. Here's another one here of Jetson 1. World's first freestyle. Yeah, and everybody's, here's what you've been seeing in the skies. I'm going to show these people. This is what you folks have been seeing. This is a man flown drone. All right, that's what you folks have been seeing in the skies. Now these we already have. We already have these. This is a man-made, human-controlled one, but they have them that big already that are computer flown or RC remote control flown with a receiver. So that's what a lot of people are seeing, and probably this.
This is 10,100.
Every business is on its own path to AI.
All right, we got a good one today. Let's go to the other side. Right there. Press that button in. That opens up. We'll go to the inside in just a second. I want to show you guys the outside. Because just a few days ago, this actually flew up. Like this exact one flew up in the air. This is going to be a prototype for the world's first ever flying car. It's called the Xpeng X2.
If you notice these propellers here, these props, if you notice these props, this is old technology. You know who came up with this double prop? Howard Hughes. The great Howard Hughes came up with this technology many, many years ago. The double prop. That's all old technology that we just didn't have the capabilities of doing back then, which even Mr. Howard Hughes had problems with controlling the one prop on his plane. It was supposed to be trimming it out, but he had problems with it. He couldn't figure it out. That's the plane that he crashed. It's a double prop plane. This is also what you are seeing in the skies. At night, people that make, why? Because it's free enterprise. If you got enough money, you can make something like this. I don't know if it should be put into public use. But, I mean, you got to be a professional to fly one of these. And even if you have a GPS system on it that where it flies, it's autopilot and flies itself, you got to be able to have control of that if GPS goes crazy. You got to know how to fly that thing. So do I think America is ready for it? No, not public, not the citizens. Military, yes, but not for citizens to be flying around. I just don't think it would be safe. We already have people that can't drive cars that have tons of money. And this would just add to their thing. I don't know. You would have to quarantine off an area where these guys can go fly their cars. Excuse me. So this is all old technology that was even being worked on way back in the day, folks. It's nothing new to me. To most people, it's groundbreaking, but it's just old technology that was already created in the past but the technology was not there to advance it, to make it plausible to fly. They didn't have computers back then. Mr. Howard Hughes did not have computers back then. So as far as Mr. Howard Hughes came with aviation and the double prop plane was at its time unbelievable. It was remarkable, but he couldn't figure it out. Why? Because he didn't have a computer system to make sure that prop was spinning at a proper speed. He was having problems with the shaft, and that one prop would counter spin. It would counter rotate. Somewhere in his flight, it reversed. It spun the wrong way, and it caused a lot of havoc. It caused the plane to rev on one side of the plane. So he couldn't keep the plane going straight, right? He couldn't trim it. He couldn't work the prop because at that time, he didn't have a computer system to run that prop exactly at the RPMs and the rotation it needed to spin in. And now technology has come far where they figured out how you can use a double prop. And that's what we're looking at right here. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You want to know what we've been seeing in our skies at night? Well, stuff like this. Drones that I just showed you, 10,000 drones, which is phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. I think that's Godzilla. Let me check. Wait a minute. No, check this out. It's a giant.
During Chinese New Year 2024, drone shows became a key highlight of celebrations across China. In Shenzhen, a spectacular display featured 10,197 drones flying in formation to create complex patterns and cultural landmarks. The event set 2 new Guinness World Records, one for the largest number of drones flying simultaneously, and another for the largest aerial image made by drones. The shows offered an environmentally friendly alternative to traditional fireworks, producing no noise or pollution. The drones created stunning 3D images that reflected Chinese culture and heritage, blending modern technology with ancient New Year traditions. And after the end of the show, all the drones began to fly back to the place from where they had originally taken off. During Chinese New Year,
That is unbelievable. And I wish we would spend more money in them. Are they useful? They sure are. Can they be handy and helpful? They sure can. Are they cheap? They're cheaper than a F-16 or a Warhawk build. They're a heck of a lot cheaper. And they're incredible. So there you go, folks. That's what you're seeing in the skies at night. Now, whether they have to do with China, I don't think so. Not unless people from China are coming over here and using them to spy or whatever. I don't know, right? I have no idea. I don't think so. I think it's just people flying their drones at night. Some of the most beautiful shots now at night are taken from a drone. Some of the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises by drone. And they are used for security. And we are going to see more of these drones as part of our security system for our own homes. You will have a drone flying over your house that will surveil your property. And soon, if everything goes as I plan, they also could be armed or at night. And they just hover over your house as you sleep peacefully with your family. And they protect you like a pit bull, like a police officer standing on your doorstep. Does that make sense to anybody? Probably not. They're probably saying I'm a mad scientist. But we're not trying to take over the world. We're trying to protect our citizens and our country. And could these drones be used? They sure could. And if you can get 30 miles out of them of a distance, 30 to 50 miles, that's great distance. And if you can get 8 to 12 hours on one charge in a battery, that's even better because then you can sleep at night. And during the day, your drone comes down, it charges right in its own little landing pad. And then after it's charged, it goes back up 30 feet over your house, 20 feet. And it just hovers and watches, surveils, it's security. And that's what America should be in 2025 is security. Right? So we can sleep at night because half of these people are falling asleep at work. Why? Because we got wars in our streets, in our neighborhoods. So there you go, folks. Have a great night. Be safe. God bless. I know a lot of people think it's crazy, but is it really? We are already lagging in this technology. And you know what? I hate to say it. China's got a great idea. Instead of gunpowder and people losing their hands and fingers and polluting the skies, they're using drones as fireworks. Can you believe it? That was incredible. Imagine seeing that in your sky on 4th of July. That's got to be beautiful. No big giant explosions, no nothing, no one getting hurt. Great idea. Why are we not there? Why is this country not there? Why have we not made friends with these people? And why? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. We should be all as one, sharing technology for mankind, to better mankind. To better mankind. And here's what the main thing is. You know why all these people are pissed at me? You know why all these people are saying you can't do it? Because we told them this is where we need to be. And they didn't want, they wanted to spend the money on conventional old time, blow everything up, leave craters in the ground and madness or whatever, other than using it towards technology that is actually useful and could help every American, every person on earth. But they just didn't let, they're pissed now because now other countries, other people invested the money in this technology. And they can't keep up with it. And they're pissed. Well, I'm sorry. Next time, you people with your degrees and your science degrees and all you politicians next time should listen. And that's why your government and everybody now is going, oh my God, drones, because you didn't invest the money and we don't have the technology. We have it, but they don't want to dump money in it. Other countries will surpass us in technology, and eventually their whole army possibly will be drones. Do I blame them? Not one bit. Takes human equation out of it. Their population will grow. For the simple reason is they don't need people, boots on the ground, to fight a war. And get your head straight out there, America. Conventional weapons are great, but we should be concentrating on doing away with all weapons and joining forces with every single country to save our world and our future, our children, grandchildren. Yep, you're right, Debbie. Some people don't want to change. They're afraid of. Yep, they are. So afraid a lot of the elders can't take them. Well, a lot of the elders worked on this stuff, but it was shelved back in the 30s and 40s and 50s. But this stuff was shelved. They shelved it. They were working on bigger versions of these drones that did look like spaceships, but that was shelved. Why? Because we didn't have the technology. We didn't have computers. I'm telling you, if these old timers would have had computers back then, they had the mechanical gas engine design. That was it. And turbine, right? Jet engines. That was it. But they didn't have the computer systems and the flight control to operate them in the 30s and 40s and the 50s or whatever. Right? And the proof is because our first fighting jets, you had a joystick manually and everything you had to read with your eyes, right? You manually had to fly the plane. Right? I mean, you could put it on autopilot, but that was it. It'd go in a straight line and that was it. Other than that, you had to manually fly the jet because it didn't have GPS systems. It didn't have computer systems back then when they created the first jet. So when them astronauts, like Neil Armstrong and all these guys that were test pilots for the Air Force, when all this computer technology came out and they became astronauts, they couldn't fly it because they were used to manually flying. They had to learn how to fly all over again. But they also did train to fly it manually, the spaceship, the rocket, the space shuttle and all that. So there you go, folks. Let me see what my mom Debbie said. We were here with the first dial-up, first cell phones, and want to see drones. I want to see more space exploration, and I want to see this stuff happen. Well, we all want a lot of things, little lady. But as you know, I never get what I want. But that's okay. We're on our way there. It takes funding, and should there be a drone military of Air Force that have drones and fly? Yeah, there should be. They're a lot cheaper than our billion-dollar planes. And if we figure out a way to power them and keep them from freezing up, we might be able to fly them in outer space. I know it sounds crazy, but if we can keep it hot enough, I think we can fly it in outer space. Of course, we would have to use jet propulsion. I don't know. What kind of experiments have we done with NASA with propeller propulsion in outer space? Don't know. So it would have to be some kind of a jet propulsion with maneuverable arms. Once it gets so far up, the arms shift over, just like that jet or that military plane that we already have right now that can land and take off from just a standstill, which we have all this technology already. Maybe some kind of I don't know, maybe some kind of a reactor power force, but we would need continued power to the jet motors, a fuel, never-ending fuel. It's possible. I think we might be able to do it. But you need money, you need funding, you need the okay from Congress, Senate, Pentagon. Right? Are they cheap to build? Sure. Depending on what you want to use. I don't know. What kind of experiments have we done with electric motors in outer space? Not much, have we? Why? Because they said it couldn't be done. That's why. But then again, they said these drones couldn't be built. And look at, it was impossible. Yeah, at that time, it was impossible because we didn't have the technology. I don't know. We'll have to see. God bless. Have a great night. Miss Debbie wants to see more space stuff, and she wants to see more drones and more stuff. We'll get right on it, Miss Debbie. Boss. We'll get right on it, girl. You ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Don't be afraid of change. Now, if all these drones go crazy and attack us, then we could be afraid. But for now, I think we're pretty much safe, folks. Oh. Have a great night. God bless, and talk to you later.